Our journey began 5 years ago, introduced by a mutual friend at a casual get-together. We hit it off almost immediately, sharing common interests and enjoying each other's company within our larger friend group. Weekends were often spent exploring new restaurants, catching the latest movies, or just chilling at someone's apartment. Sophia and I, living in the same apartment complex, naturally found ourselves in each other's company more frequently. However, it was always in a group setting, never one-on-one, maintaining a healthy boundary. When Sophia started dating Noah, I noticed a shift. She began messaging me more often, seeking advice and emotional support. Initially, I thought it was just the excitement of a new relationship, but things started to get strange when she began referring to me as her best friend, something that had never been the case. We were close, but not in the way she described to Noah. This misrepresentation puzzled me, especially since she seemed genuinely happy with Noah. It all came to a head one evening when Noah and I were having a casual conversation. Somehow, the topic of Sophia and my friendship came up. I casually mentioned that while Sophia and I were good friends, we were not as close as she had made it seem. I emphasized that our interactions were mostly within the group, and that we never hung out alone. This revelation didn't sit well with Noah, who had been led to believe otherwise. Sophia's reaction was swift and intense. She was furious that I had betrayed her, accusing me of undermining her relationship with Noah. The confrontation left me bewildered and guilty, questioning whether I had done the right thing. Sophia's anger lingered for a couple of days until she finally reached out, apologizing for her outburst and asking if we could meet to talk things through. When she arrived at my apartment, she seemed more composed but still determined to explain her actions. Sophia admitted that while she deeply loved Noah, he had some shortcomings. He was unmotivated and often lazy, putting minimal effort into their relationship. This had frustrated her immensely, especially since she had to ask for even the simplest gestures of affection. Knowing that Noah had been deeply hurt by his previous girlfriend's infidelity, Sophia decided to use his insecurities to her advantage. She knew that he was still fragile and needed reassurance. So she came up with a plan to make him jealous by pretending that I was her best friend. She believed that by making Noah think there was another man providing her emotional support, he would step up his game and become a more attentive boyfriend. Sophia's strategy worked to some extent. Noah started paying more attention to her, responding to her messages more promptly, and making more of an effort to spend time with her. However, her plan didn't end there. She would often lie about spending evenings at my apartment, watching movies or having elaborate meals together, to make Noah feel left out and neglected. This made Noah anxious and prompted him to reduce his gaming sessions with his friends to spend more time with Sophia. When Sophia confronted me about not supporting her story, she was adamant that her plan had been a success and that there were no victims. She argued that Noah had become a better boyfriend because of her manipulations and pleaded with me to keep quiet to maintain the status quo. She even suggested that she would gradually reduce her messages to me, making Noah appreciate her more while still seeing me as a potential fallback if he reverted to his old ways. I was conflicted. On one hand, Sophia seemed happy with the improved dynamics of her relationship. On the other hand, I felt uneasy being a pawn in her deceit. Despite my reservations, I agreed to go along with her plan, mainly to avoid causing any turmoil between them. Reading through the comments and reflecting on the situation, I am torn about whether to reveal the truth to Noah. Part of me worries that he would not believe me, and instead think that I have ulterior motives to break them up. Without concrete proof of Sophia's manipulations, I fear that coming forward might backfire, painting me as the villain in this narrative. Ultimately, I decided not to tell Noah the full truth. The risks seemed too high, and I didn't want to jeopardize my social circle, or be accused of trying to sabotage their relationship. For now, I plan to distance myself from Sophia, only interacting with her in social settings and avoiding any private communication. This experience has left me questioning the dynamics of friendships and the ethical boundaries in relationships. While Sophia's tactics might have yielded the desired results, they came at the cost of honesty and integrity, leaving me in a precarious position, balancing the truth and my loyalty to a friend. Reflecting on the past few years, our friendship had always been solid, or so I thought. The introduction of Noah into our circle added a new dimension to our interactions. At first, I was happy for Sophia, seeing her with someone who seemed to care for her. However, as the relationship developed, I noticed subtle changes. Sophia's frequent messages and her portrayal of me as her best friend felt off. It wasn't just the exaggeration, it was the intent behind it that made me uneasy. When Noah and I had that pivotal conversation, I didn't anticipate the fallout. I thought being honest was the right thing to do, but it triggered a chain of events I couldn't foresee. Sophia's anger was intense, and her accusations stung. She made it clear that my honesty had jeopardized her relationship, and I was left feeling guilty and confused. Sophia's explanation during our meeting was a mix of manipulation and desperation. She confessed her love for Noah, but highlighted his flaws. According to her, Noah was a great guy, but lacked motivation, and often neglected her needs. Her plan to make him jealous was a calculated move to improve their relationship. She believed that by creating a fictional bond between us, she could ignite Noah's jealousy and make him more attentive. Her strategy worked to an extent. Noah became more engaged, responding to her messages and spending less time on video games. But the lies didn't stop there. Sophia continued to fabricate stories about our time together, making Noah believe we were having elaborate dinners and fun evenings while he was gaming. This manipulation made Noah anxious and more focused on their relationship. When Sophia confronted me about not supporting her story, she was relentless. She insisted that her plan had worked and that there were no victims. According to her, Noah had become a better boyfriend because of her lies, and she was happier. She pleaded with me to keep quiet, arguing that the end justified the means. Ultimately, I decided not to tell Noah the full truth. The risks seemed too high, and I didn't want to jeopardize my social circle or be accused of trying to break them up. For now, I plan to distance myself from Sophia, only interacting with her in social settings and avoiding private communication. This experience has left me questioning the dynamics of friendships and the ethical boundaries in relationships. While Sophia's tactics might have yielded the desired results, they came at the cost of honesty and integrity, leaving me in a precarious position, balancing the truth and my loyalty to a friend.